down the last best of two and taking you into our final best of two of the evening. You just see MVPs out there on your screen right now, and honestly, a little bit of a surprise for me. They gave the MVP to Zhenlong. Do you agree with that, Nero? What do you think about that?
Well, I still think that there were better performances in the lineup of Young Glory than Zhenlong, especially when in this one game. In the previous one, maybe, okay, Zhenlong didn't die even once, but this time around he had some positioning issues that we have to point out.
And if you see it on your screen right now, the caster predictions for our second best of two of the night are all over the board. We've got a 2-0 for StarHorn, 2-0 for World Elite, and it's not complete without a good old 1-1. So interesting to see them so spread out, because at least from my perspective coming into this, at least for getting World Elite sort of a slump going 0-4 this week, I would expect World Elite to actually do much better against StarHorn Royal Club. But with World Elite slumping and having it been a while since I've seen StarHorn Royal Club play, I gotta say, might be going with that 1-1 this time.
Yeah, I might be going with a 1-1 too, but I'm going for it pretty much every single time. But yeah, talking about StarHorn, they actually pioneered bringing the Korean players into the Chinese scene, and they didn't really do it too well.
That's right.
I mean, of course, it's Insec, he's a star player, but pretty much I have the feeling that StarHorn is just focusing around the star players and not on winning the games or having a nice performance overall. Like, they had Uzi placed in the middle lane just because he was a good player, and they built a team around him. Right now it's all around Uzi and Insec, and they are still looking for the star players, and it's not really working out. On the other hand, you have World Elite. In the first days, the Korean players didn't really work too well, but it was just the first day. They just arrived in China. The next week, they started owning completely out of nowhere, so World Elite definitely coming in as big favorites.
Right, but StarHorn Royal Club have done what none of the top three teams in LPL have been able to do, and that is go 2-0 versus Young Glory, which was their last series that they won. So they picked up a 2-0 against Young Glory, and nobody batted an eyelash. There was like, oh, a team beat the worst team in LPL. Big surprise. But, hey, Young Glory have been bringing it back. So StarHorn Royal Club have at least that going for them. You see the lineups right there. Cola, Insec, and Korn now in the mid lane as we hop down to what is probably going to be the place I'm going to be looking all game long tonight. And that is the Battle of the Bottom Lanes. You can see him on your screen right now. That is UZI. And it is going to be UZI matching up against Wei Zhao down there in the bottom lane. I am excited to watch at least that matchup, because it's probably going to define this game.
And this game is going to be definitely interesting. Both supports are strong, but they have different playstyles. Conan likes to roam around, and he has won several games for World League just doing that, just ganking all the lanes with the Leona support or picks like that. But on the other hand, Zero will definitely be aggressive in the lane alongside with Uzi. So World League might look to punish that, but Conan might be punished if he's not roaming around.
Now, big strategy in LPL, at least for a very long time, has been very team fight-centric focus. And StarHorn Royal Club actually kind of struggle with that. Now, World Elite, you can see them on your screen right now. They're with a 60% win rate. 2 weeks ago, that win rate was up to 75%, and it's been coming down, so you can really see the downwards kind of spiral that these guys are in. They're 0-4 on the week, and arguably coming into today, they should be in contention for first place, but they just aren't there. And honestly, if we don't pick up at least one win tonight, they're going to be heading down to third, maybe fourth place before they hit the end of the season. And how the mighty have fallen. It's going to be a rough set of games. See him on your screen right there, Wei Zhao. We were talking about how he's going to match up against UZI here, and honestly, their AD carry choices may vary just a little bit, but still something I'm very interested to watch out, just because it is they are the hard carries for their teams.
Yeah, so talking about teams rising and falling, we have World League struggling a lot to win any single game right here. We have IG sitting at the bottom half of the standings, and we have Young Glory actually starting to rise and winning all the games that they get to play. So this is definitely an interesting thing in the standings, and we also still have a few weeks to be played in here in the LPL, so things might change a lot before the end of the season. But definitely World Elite, they need to step up their game, and they definitely need to play well today, they need to win at least one game against StarHorn Royal Club if they don't want to fall really far behind.
There you can see him on your screen. That's Axine, the other Korean player there added to World Elite. He and Ninja have not been posting up some big numbers, and there is on your screen the most famous man in China, Sao Mei. You can see that Fizz game on your screens. Did not work out. Gragas didn't work out. Kale, same story there, and World Elite across the board are just looking for a win. Anything that they can get to come back in this tournament. They're falling down. In case you guys want a look at the standings, you can check out coming into tonight's games. World Elite are at 12 points. If they had won all their games, they'd be in first place, so 2 points ahead of OMG. But right now, they're just looking to hang on, as if StarHorn Royal Club come up to a 2-0 tonight, they'll actually overtake World Elite and take away their third place spot and kind of swap places in the standings. So let's go ahead and I guess hop into what should be Champion Select coming here in just a minute. Still waiting for the players to finish up their preparations in lobby. But what are your thoughts on this game tonight? What are the strengths and weaknesses that we're looking for from both teams, Nero?
Just coming back to waiting for the picks and bans. At least there's no clear off in this game. Not playing in World League anymore.
That's true. No more delays for the games.
Yeah, and there we go. The Champion Select will be popping up right now. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the Rengar ban or no ban, because that is a really important champion for Sin, both Sin and Insec, right here. And also a Lee Sin will be contested. So the junglers, the battle of the junglers, they are really good players, but we'll get to see what champion picks they will get to pick. And the matchup in the middle lane, Korn versus Ninja, of course, that'll definitely also be interesting. I would love to see the Ninja TF, because lately when he's been playing it, he was doing quite well.
All right, and there you can see it on your screen. Apologies, had a little bit of a brief issue, but for the bans coming out today, the Lee Sin is going to be a big one. Lee Sin and Rengar are basically everything that Insect plays, and though they will get the first pick here, it is going to be a little bit of a... I mean, the junglers are okay. They're not going to really define this game. Insect, when he does well, he does very, very well, but when he does bad, he does horrid. I feel like that's a nursery rhyme that I've heard before, but either way... the junglers are going to be, I guess, less focused on, but they will impact the lanes. And honestly, like we said before, it's going to be about the duo lanes. Uzi and Zero versus Wei Zhao and Conan.
Yeah, there's the Thresh ban. I also expected it to come out, but I rather thought that both teams will try to contest this champion, that one of them will grab it. They do decide to go for a ban here, though. And, well, Lee Sin is still open.
Oh, and though Cola grabs... the support pick for Zero and a Braum, I feel like the Kog'Maw was a much bigger champion to contest. Plus, Sao Mei gets his Jax. Like, how you can give Jax Kog'Maw to a team as good as World Elite is a big struggle. So now it's up to Insec. What does he play? Lee Sin is still up. So you gotta grab the Lee Sin for Insec. Or Lee Sinsec, but...
Why not a Mumu or Shaco?
Because they're terrible champions, Nero. And there's the Lee Sin locked in with Gragas for top lane. So even though Jax is good and Same is an incredible Jax player, the big man in the top lane, Gragas, is kind of the king of LPL up there.
Ninja once again going for this Ziggs, and once again with a Ghost instead of a heal or a barrier or whatever else. Just going for the move speed for the safe play. And yeah, as you said, the Gragas in the top lane. Sao Mei likes playing this champion, but he didn't get a Jax, of course. It is also a nice and a comfortable pick for him. And yeah, everyone just said that Sao Mei is having his best split of his life, and actually World Elite now falling into a slump is a sad thing to see.
Now, Ninja's going to grab a Ziggs, which is okay for him, but not necessarily his kind of par for the course. He's much more comfortable on, like, assassin players rather than kind of just the Rice lane where you go to try to farm things out. And oh my gosh, there's a lock-in on Fizz!
Once again.
Okay, well, this time it's not Sao Mei's top lane Fizz, which honestly had its own fair share of issues. But that's going to be for Korn in the mid lane, and a top lane Gragas switched around there. Oh no. They're going to put that Gragas top, aren't they? StarHorn
they should.
Are still rotating things. Could be a top lane Fizz. Maybe Cola's like stolen Sao Mei's like playbook, and he's like, oh, top lane Fizz really is OP. but something tells me that's not quite the case.
Yeah, we'll get to see what that is in the end. But UZI going for this Tristana pick. Well, LMQ was formerly a sister team to StarHorn, to previously Royal Club. So yeah, this UZI definitely knows Vasily in person, and Vasily is playing a lot of this Tristana lately. Right now, UZI will go for it in the LPL and show World Elite how to play this champion. But yeah, facing off a Kog'Maw, that might be quite hard. But in the late game, both champions are really strong.
Alright, so they did switch the Ziggs up. No big surprises there. My heart's rested a little bit easier. If nobody ever plays top lane Fizz again, it'll be too soon. If you guys missed Salme's Fizz performance, go check out Wee's first series of the... our second series of the week. It was somewhat lackluster, let's put it that way. But right now, the Kog'Maw Leona lane is always a little bit rough because, you know, Leona's all about going in, engaging, and Kog'Maw's like, hey, I'm going to hang out back here and poke things out. So the World Elite comp is all about big, hard engage in the front and then a very long-ranged, high-damage backline for the damage. Sounds good in theory, but it's something that World Elite tried in their series versus... who'd they play? Was that versus Young Glory yesterday? No, that's what they tried in their first series of the week.
Yesterday it was Young Glory. We didn't cover the first series of the week.
I understand. I was talking about the World Elite strategy, where they go for a tanky front line with long-range, high-damage backline. But didn't work out for them then, and we'll see if it works out here now as we are looking to hop into our second best two of the night. Loading into the game, it's going to be StarHorn Royal Club versus World Elite.
And let's see if World Elite can finally grab a point in the LPL this week, because it's looking so hard for them. And yes, Ninja just switches back to this heal. After all, he's not gonna go for this Ziggs with a ghost that we have seen lately. But yeah, now Fizz in the middle lane for Korn. That is definitely going to be an interesting matchup to see. And you actually said that Korn versus Ninja is going to be interesting before the picks and bans even started. And right now, I think that's even better.
Yeah, two things to watch out for right now. I feel like Insec, you know, he's on his trademark Lee Sin. It's going to have a lot of very good early jungle pressure since they're scouting him out, but I don't think either one of the junglers are looking for anything too crazy. And somewhat interestingly, we've got lined up lane matchups, a defensive start across the board, and absolutely nothing going on here at level 1 other than, you know, maybe some interesting, somewhat questionable top lane trades.
Yeah, so actually looking at the history of the teams facing each other, the one who gets the early pressure and early advantage wins the game. So
and they don't just win it, they win it hard. World Elite still a little bit better on dragon control, at least over their series. And lifetimes, or not lifetime, but the last time these two teams faced off, they split 1-1. And it was not close either time. It was if you win your matchup early, if you win the 2v2, then you just snowball the game and kind of destroy things from there on out. So, interesting to see what World Elite are going to go for here. They have 5 champions top lane, so either they're unsure of the lane matchup or they're just looking for a late invade on blue.
Most probably they're going for the latter one of 2 options, but most probably it still is going to be the lane swap right there from Kog'Maw and Leona into the top.
And so with this lane swap, the reason they can afford to have 5 champions in one place is because they're just going to be giving that dual lane over to UZI and Zero. So no pressure there. And honestly, this is Kog'Maw versus Tristana, so we should see a relatively long laning phase because both AD carries are going to want a lot of time to farm.
Yeah, definitely. And they will be setting themselves up for the late game. And that actually, ironically, tells us that both teams will want to win the game in the late game and not in the early stages of the game, as we just said.
Now, keep in mind, the one discrepancy between these two supports is that Zero is great at peeling for his AD carries, so that helps him out in team fights, but Conan's always been more of like a roamer, so you can already see he's leaving Kog'Maw, heading to the mid lane, not necessarily looking to put on too much pressure, but yeah, it's just for word coverage. Still leaving lane. You're going to see Zero maybe do the same around the Dragon Pit, but already, I mean, there's a little bit of movement from Ninja, because he realizes, hey, duo lane's bottom for StarHorn, so they're going to have the Dragon pressure early.
Yeah, definitely they will want to pressure the Dragon, but it's World Elite who actually put a lot of pressure on this Dragon Pit lately in their games, and they're all about the Dragon control in the early stages. So that is actually pretty awkward that we see them going for the top lane and not for the bot. But they definitely don't want to put Wei Xiao, who's somehow been not doing too well lately in a matchup versus UZI, of course, and Zero, who can punish any positioning mistake so easily.
So White's taken down, still level 2 for Cola and Insec, and I think this just means they're going to dive this turret. This is actually a return to the 4v0 strat that you used to see. Apparently a few little lags here, so give me a minute to refresh the stream and get everything back. Most likely should just see that bottom turret going down, still looking to get everything back up and running as the stream's having a few minor technical difficulties. But yeah, 4v0, it's been a while since we saw that.
Yeah, definitely. And in the top lane, Worldly don't really have an answer to that because the jungler Sin was so far away from this top. He was in the bottom half of the jungle and he has no means of defending this turret. So it will be a free 1-for-0 in favor of StarHorn Royal Club right there in the bottom lane.
And honestly, I don't know why this strategy really fell out of favor, especially if you can assure yourself that you're going to be the team that gets the bottom half of the map. Because now this is going to set StarHorn up for the bottom turret, the Dragon, and really not a whole lot. And you can see very smart rotation here from Conan. He's already coming down, recognizing Dragon's going to be a big question mark early on, coming down and trying to zone.
They might try to go for a contest right there, but it is definitely going to be really dangerous, man. StarHorn Royal Club, they are not really pressuring the Dragon Pit as of yet, so most probably they will want to catch a breath before going right there. Yeah, just getting more and more farm, and just look at the jungler. He's going to the top half of the jungle. They are not going for this Dragon at all.
That's actually a little bit questionable. You can see World Elite were scared of that, so they sent Zero down, or they sent Conan down there and said, hey, ward up the area. We want to make sure that this isn't quite so easy for SHRC to take down. The only problem is that when Tristana lanes, because of Explosive Shot, she automatically pushes the lane. So this could set up Sao Mei for just an early freeze or an easy freeze. Sounds like a snow cone. But an easy freeze at his turret, able to just kind of sit down there and keep his farm up as one of the hyper carries on his team. Of course, Wei Xiao being the other one.
Yeah, so StarHorn right now coming out on top in gold after taking this turret down, and finally they may be creating a little bit of pressure around this Dragon Pit. But still, Cola is facing Wei Xiao and Conan in the top lane, so Worldly, they can't really contest that.
Oh, and he throws the barrel in
still
there.
didn't go for it.
Yeah, I don't think StarHorn are really up for too much right now. They're going to send the duo down bottom and maybe just try to do a lane reset and get in position for Dragon. Wards will start to die off here in the next minute, at least the ones that World Elite have placed down there, so might be setting up for a Dragon, although they haven't revealed themselves just yet. That duo is still hidden in the jungle. Mystery where they are to World Elite.
Axon going to the top lane trying to pull up a gang, but Conan just falls back from there.
My question mark is, like, what is Korn doing this game? Like, theoretically, a Ziggs has a lot of pressure, or a Fizz has a lot of pressure on Ziggs once he hits level 6. So he's still level 5, almost hitting that mark. And there he is. He hits level 6, and now this is where the pressure is going to be. 3-man Dragon, though, started up. It's on top of a ward here for StarHorn, so they're just going for it. Now, Sao Mei is going to rotate. Ziggs is cut off by Fizz, who's a little bit ahead of schedule. There's no teleport in, and there's SHRC. Didn't even clear the ward. They will get the first Dragon of the game.
Yeah, fairly easy one in their favor, and yeah, just taking the first turret, taking the first Dragon, and no answer from World Elite as of yet. They need to start acting because they will find themselves in a big hole of gold later on if StarHorn just gather up too much.
This is actually a pretty big deal because in their previous series, it was always World Elite that had very, very strong Dragon control. So giving that up so easily, I don't know. I mean, it's all about what you sacrifice for that. So StarHorn Royal Club got the Dragon, but it was the hyper carries for World Elite that were able to get solo farm during that time. So you can see Wei Xiao hasn't left that top lane. He's just permanently up there. But now, it's actually Sao Mei jumping in there, forcing the jump and the flash out of Zero. So bit of early aggression, but no kills off the back of that. And now Insect's coming mid just to help clear it out. And make Corn a little bit more flexible leaving lane.
Yeah, it was just Xiaomei jumping in. There was no intention of a follow-up coming in from World Lead, so
Yeah,
that
so
was a little bit
why
of
do
a
you
risk.
flash away? Like,
Yeah,
zero.
exactly.
Pretty scared. Mega Inferno Bomb's coming in, though. Little bit too late.
Alright, so we do have StarHorn Royal Club leading by a little bit in the gold, but still, World Lead, they are building up the farm on this Cogmod. That might be really dangerous, and Korn still hasn't done anything in this game.
It's true. Corn's still a big question mark to me. Like, if you pick a Fizz, then, I mean, you gotta do stuff. Like, nobody picks Fizz to farm their lane out. They
Yeah,
want
and
to
he's
either...
trying to outfarm the Ziggs, and it's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process is there. Maybe he just hasn't had enough time to, or enough opportunities to roam, just because of, Ziggs pushing the wave so quickly. But honestly, where's he gonna roam? I feel like he's meant to, like, put a lot of pressure on things like Dragon, so, I mean, maybe that's a success for Fizz already. And he is farming relatively decently. He's only 10 CS down, but farming is not something you really prioritize as Fizz. You gotta get your roam game on, find some kills somewhere. Otherwise, Ziggs is just gonna out-farm you and be a better poker in these team fights.
Yeah, and just look at StarHorn in the bottom lane, still landing a lot of damage on the secondary turrets, and they may want to just go for the objectives. And that's why Uzi is so far behind in the farm.
Another big question mark to me, if you take a look at the supports, it's Ignites for both of them instead of Exhaust. Like, if you want to play for late game, then you pick Exhausts on your support. If you want to go for early game, as far as like a kill lane is concerned, then you pick Ignite and try to crush things down early on. So still a little bit of a question mark there for me. There's a lot of those out there right now, but overall, World Elite are winning the farm war everywhere but top. So still a little bit of a struggle for Xiaomei, even though he did get that solo lane. But with a rotation bottom for the turret, that's 2 global objectives, StarHorn, or 3 rather. They've gotten 2 turrets, the Dragon, and all World Elite are trying to do is just farm their lanes out and get to late.
And the Dragon will be coming back quite soon, so once again, StarHorn do have the pressure, the huge pressure in the bottom lane. It's not just the first turret, it's the second one too. So, yeah, World Elite will just send a Cogma right there to free farm even more, but what does it really give them? Well, this game is like really weird. We do have Korn who picks up a Fizz and doesn't do anything at all. We have Uzi picking up a late game AD carry and doesn't really try to farm at all, just goes for the turret. And yeah, well, a lot of question marks, as you said.
For right now, Uzi is pulling a Boy, the mid lane Tristana. Able to wave clear pretty effectively versus Ninja. But the big question mark is, what does StarHorn do? You're coming up on Dragon timing in a couple minutes, so that's there. They're around the Baron area, but that doesn't even spawn for another 5 minutes, so they should be just looking to put pressure top lane. Big rotation for StarHorn. Looking to come top here, and already Xiaomei knows he's in trouble. He's already going to pop that Grandmaster's Might, trying to get super tanky, and he does. Gets a nice 2-man stun. Insect's going to come in from behind and get slammed against the wall. Nice flash out, but sooner than later, he gets taken down. A 4-man dive to top lane. Kills off the side laner and takes the turret. StarHorn just one step ahead of World Elite at every moment of this game.
And they got a first blood, so that's a lot of gold with 2 or even 3 assists right there. But still, Cola missed the body slam, and Zero missed the Winter's Bite.
A little bit comical there. But the bigger thing for StarHorn is that not only do they get advantages, they prevent World Elite from grabbing any back in return with a teleport bottom lane from Cola. He keeps that pressure off the turret. Wei Zhao can't even push, so he's forced to rotate around towards Dragon, but that's not up for another minute, and World Elite just... there's nothing for them to do.
Yeah, just StarHorn playing the map too well. 3-0 in the turrets. Okay, the first turret falls down, but World Elite don't really have to care about this one. But then goes the second and the third one, and that's where they have to start to worry about what they are doing with the map control. And the second Dragon will be popping up in just few seconds. As you said, StarHorn will be setting themselves up for this one. Most probably taking it without a problem.
Now, this series doesn't actually mean too much for World Elite, but for StarHorn, if they pick up a 2-0, they'll actually steal World Elite's 3rd place spot and move up in the standings, which is something that is A big surprise to a lot of people. Like, this is the night of surprises. We've seen Young Glory just stomp the best teams in LPL. Maybe stomp's too hard a word, but do very, very well. Beat them all, pretty much. And now StarHorn has an opportunity to eclipse World Elite, which is going to be much to many people's chagrin, at least if they're World Elite fans, is probably the most popular team in China, so... StarHorn up around the Dragon area again. Perfect positioning. Now they're looking to make a pick before they start the Dragon because they recognize that the poke advantage is with World Elite and they don't want to get poked down.
Yeah, StarHorn is pretty much starting to win this game without doing anything at all. I mean, 4v1 top lane dive is not a spectacular thing, and taking the turrets against no defense is also not a spectacular thing, but there may be a fight right here.
Yeah, StarHorn are just trying to take as many advantages as they can until World Elite want to start to fight them. Cole is going to get a nice flank down here. There is Zero splitting the team in half. Explosive Casket going to knock Sin in as well as Conan. Xiaomei gets kicked away from the team fight. Can't do anything in a perfect zone. Incredible Lee Sin kick there from Insect just makes Xiaomei useless. But overall, a little bit of a team fight win for StarHorn as they will come out ahead in the health bars. But nobody dying, so still a little bit of an awkward fight. Everybody going in and then walking back out again.
Yeah, but well, StarHorn just created the pressure onto World Elite, onto the Dragon Pit, and they will take this one most probably without any problems because World Elite, as you said, coming out a little bit worse on the health bars.
Well, and more importantly, it was Sin that got chunked down by a big Gragas barrel from Cola. So he was very low health, not dead, but still too dangerous for him to get near Dragon. And the big thing to notice also is that while that time is passing around Dragon, it's been a lot of pressure elsewhere on the map. Top lane almost going down, and so Xiaomei is going to stop by the red buff, head top lane, and most likely be able to take down the first turret of the game for World Elite. But this game is just like straight up rotations. It's how do you force the issue? How do you make your objectives come your way when you go for them? And StarHorn's answer was the blue buff. They did so, and even though Zero's ult was pretty questionable, it went right down the middle. Didn't split the uprights, so he didn't get the points for the strike there at the end, but still was enough to chunk out Sin MVP there to Cola for getting that damage down, and another Dragon comes the way of StarHorn.
Yeah, it was just there to create the mental pressure on the lineup of World Elite. They were a little bit afraid of to jump into this slowing Glacial Fissure that gets left on the floor. And still, yeah, the Dragon goes to StarHorn. This first turret in the top may go down, but it doesn't have to. And still, we do have a big advantage of StarHorn over World Elite right now. 2-0 in the Dragons, 3-0 in the turrets, 1-0 in the kills. That's a lot.
Now, World Elite have always been like more of a team fight team. So when they force a 5v5, their positioning's always been a little bit better. You see, even though they were the ones that got engaged on, they wound up getting away without taking any casualties. So they do okay in the team fights, and that's actually something that StarHorn Royal Club is traditionally a little bit weaker in there. But what is Insect doing? I feel like the Insect there might need to be renamed to going in super deep and not being able to kick anybody. Got stunned up there. Great stun by Conan. Kept Wei Xiao from getting a one-stop ticket to the middle of the enemy team.
Okay, so the nice Lee Sin players are now called Insect, so Insect decides to go extremely deep, and
he got bored of like the Insect, so now he decides to rename it for going deep and not getting anything off of it. So a little bit questionable dive there. It's like save the Insect.
Too much, still okay.
I feel like Insect is a little bit like Kid or UZI, where they just go like super ham and expect the rest of the team to come save them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, but well, it's a different thing when you are an AD carry and you can really run away, and if you are a Lee Sin that has the safeguard in his pocket, so it's still okay for Lee Sin, for Insect to go in like that, but well, he should try to watch out a little bit more. StarHorn do not want to throw this advantage away just yet.
All right, so I have to drink some water, get my voice back down to like deep manly levels. Every time something exciting happens, like, I don't know, my throat just like forgets puberty real fast. Mega Inferno Bomb comes out just to clear the wave, so pushing will be very difficult for StarHorn. But Insect's ult's back up. So he still has the insect potential if he wants to go in for it. We'll see if time number 2, second time's the charm.
Yeah,
StarHorn's
he doesn't
still
have
looking
a
for a
flash
pick.
available.
Yeah, so Flash is not available. Does he have a ward to ward jump? Yeah, he's got the side stone. StarHorn actually did something very, very smart there. They backed off and made it look like they were done pushing mid lane, and then they just come straight out the bushes, and Ninja's nowhere to be found. Mid turret goes down. Really nice sneakiness there by StarHorn. They're just like, hey, we're not going to fight you with your turret. Just kidding, we're going to take the turret for free.
4-0 into turrets right now. That is a massive lead, but it still doesn't show too much because they don't have a big advantage over World Lead. They don't win in the fights. They don't really do anything off of that. They don't create the jungle pressure.
So now it's World Elite's turn to at least try to take this turret. Explosive cast there from Cola tries to clear the way, but it's just not good enough. And I mean, there's Spiderlings there too. Ward goes down and World Elite backing away. I feel like they need to make like a mini series called like Ward Elite about World Elite's vision coverage. Somebody wants to write that article. They can give me credit for that name. I'm just saying it's been something that World Elite has traditionally done very well with, but if you look at it this game, they got wards mid, and that's about it.
Alright, so 1-0 in favor of StarHorn, and the big thing, we have a kill on Tristana, on UZI, so that may pay off later on. Finally, he comes out on top in CS over Wei Xiao.
Most
So
exciting 20 minutes of your life, right, Nero?
What?
1-0.
Okay, but StarHorn is winning at least. They are my favorite team right here, so I'm really glad to see them doing
Dude, people are
well.
gonna fight you on that one, Nero. Like StarHorn, I feel like they have individually like famous players. Like the StarHorn have a lot of star power, regardless of their name. But I feel like at times they play just like, you know, a team of 5 individual players all trying to make their own big plays, especially in second UZI, who are pretty known to go super ham. And they're both on champions with big jumps, so we'll see whether they decide to use those defensively or offensively like Insect's been trying to do.
Yeah, and before the game I said a lot of bad words about this team. Actually, I pretty much like them too much to really be against them, but, well, they are just not doing too well. They brought in Insect, they brought in Zero, and they are just there. It's not like the Korean players are the monsters that will just devour every single Chinese player. Insect and Zero are just doing okay. That's it.
It's true. So we're really looking for something outstanding out of not just the Korean players, but really StarHorn as a whole. Actually, both teams tonight come in with somewhat underwhelming performances. StarHorn struggling to maintain their 4th place spot, and really World Elite not on a good week at all. Still 0-4 for their games so far. Looking to pick up a win.
Yeah, they really need it. If they go 0-6 in this week, then the fans are definitely going to question their popularity. And World Elite is definitely under a lot of pressure from the fans, since they are the most popular team in China. And we know that the pressure from the fans in China is quite big, especially after what happened to Pomelo after the All-Stars.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, World Elite has always been under a lot of pressure ever since they had their big power spike around end of Season 2. But now they have to live up to it. And they are they're having the struggles right now. Now, a lot of people say, okay, oh no, World Elite are in a huge slump. They can't win anything. They're the worst team ever. But yeah, an equal amount of players of fans are just like, okay, well, it's a little bit of a fluke. We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and see if they can bring things back. But actually now StarHorn, they grab the dragon, they look for a pick off the Glacial Fissure. Don't find anything good enough, so they will back out. Somewhat aggressive, but even still. Oh, look at UZI. He's going to battle out Sin there. He's got the crits and the red buff damage, but is it going to be enough for the kill onto the Axine? He repels his way back out, but UZI just man it up. You can see it's Jungler on AD carry. Jungler's got a Cocoon and CC and a team to back him up, and UZI is just like, what's up, man? Auto attack war. Who wins?
Yeah, UZI could have just gone very far to take Sin out after he falls down from that repel, but finally Uzi starts to think about positioning and doesn't really want to go down too quickly in this game.
It's like, oh wait, that one thing that AD carries kind of have to be good at? Probably want to get back to his team, and he does back up eventually. The big question mark right now is Corn. Why is Corn in the game? Like, that's the big
I
question
mean,
mark for
is
me.
he
Like,
in the game?
what is
at
he
all?
doing? He has a Lich Bane and half a Zhonya's.
I mean, he
And
needs to
he's like,
show up in the fights.
he's 50 CS down, so like I'm not sure what's the plan. If you want to farm versus Ziggs, you just pick Orianna. If you want to kill the Ziggs, then you pick aggressive assassins like Fizz. So maybe they're looking for like a split pusher, but even though Sao Mei's behind, he's got the Negatron cloak and he'll be able to get that 1v1.
Yeah, most probably yes, and especially as a Jax right there, just stunned the enemy up, and he has a lot of mobility, so in case this Fizz does too well, he can just run away, so yeah, just have to question this pick for StarHorn Royal Club. Maybe they had some idea behind it, but they just can't pull it off. It's pretty much not doing much at all, and I didn't even see one Chum the Waters coming out from this Fizz as of yet, and it's already 23 minutes inside of the game.
I think Corrin's R button is kind of broken a little bit. He's like, well, what do I do with only 3 moves? The answer is use them to farm minions. Just complete his Zhonya's though, so we actually had a bunch of gold. Grab that, that's a big item buy for Fizz. So Fizz is sitting on core itemization and still looking for a death cap on Ninja before he really gets there. And like Corrin used to play like a lot of aggressive champions, but he's always been known less for getting a ton of kills and more for just being a very safe mid laner. I think he has an incredibly low number of death. I think he's at like 38, so lowest on his team. Tends to stay alive, but that hesitation to go in and maybe risk dying is not making him the most aggressive Fizz player. Now 60 CS down.
Yeah, but CS is being down in CS is not a weird thing right here if he's facing a Ziggs, so that's not a big problem. Of course, we want to be looking at the AD carries because this Tristana is just doing so well against Kog'Maw right now. It's not only the 35 CS difference, but also the kill difference, which is giving a lot more gold to Uzi over Wei Xiao, but still no aggression at all coming out from both of the teams. Maybe there was this 1-0 flash ult that pretty much just failed, so still not a lot going on the map right now as of yet, but I'm quite sure that this game will just explode.
Most exciting 25 minutes of your life right now, as the game will continue. A really hesitant play here by World Elite. I honestly think the longer the game goes on, like with this hesitation to make any sort of plays, the better it is for World Elite. Yeah, because they're just getting a chance to farm. So even though it's been StarHorn Royal Club just kind of running a train on World Elite, getting every single objective out there on the map, World Elite are just biding their time. They're playing this farm game, like Farm Simulator 2014 LPL edition. I don't know. It's working out for them in the CS department. Like, Sao Mei's caught back up and even gotten a CS lead. Teleport, though, right into the middle. Wei Xiao's got some horrible positioning, but Conan's there for the save. He takes the fish, stays alive, and prevents World Elite from getting picked up. Now, actually, Insect safeguarding back away there. Axine, holy hell, he's getting crit down, and now Sao Mei's very low. And, wait, what? How did Ninja get a kill? He killed Insect with a Mega Inferno Bomb. Holy sh... He sniped him down there. I had no idea he knew exactly where he was. And Ninja making the plays finds the first kill of the game for World Elite.
Yeah, especially after this flash, it must have been hard to predict where your enemy will be. But while StarHorn may try to be looking for a re-engage...
No. No. Not with solar flares like that, you're not looking for an engage. Big pressure. World Elite off that 1 kill might be looking for a second tier mid turret. Something tells me that might be a little bit too much to ask for. Fish in the middle. Does it hit the Zhonya's?
20... just not showing the best performance of his life.
Yeah. Jimmy cracked Corrin, he doesn't actually care where he's going. Was his Zhonya's like on cooldown? I don't think so. It's still up. He just jumped in and didn't Zon. 25 minutes of farming, CSing, falling further and further behind, and you jump in for that. Yeah. All right. Well, Corrin's Fizz still leaving some big question marks in my mind. Fizz not an LPL champion. Apparently, last couple of games he's been played has not been his finest hour, and now it's a 2-0 for Ninja. So, a Ziggs getting strong. can almost solo carry a team. Back when Shifter used to be on Coast, we saw him do it at least like 2 or 3 times. The rest of his team would feed super hard, and he'd just like come back and crush him with Ziggs. And honestly, that's why Ziggs in the last split of LPL was like an incredibly high percentage of ban, or an incredibly high ban percentage, just because he could perfectly wave clear, stall the game out incredibly long, and that's one of the reasons that World Elite picked the Fizz. It's so that they could wave clear, could prolong the game, and wait for Wei Zhao and Sao Mei to get giant.
Yeah, so staying at the topic of the NALCS, actually talking about the most interesting 25 minutes of a lifetime, someone finally has to beat the record of complexity. You know, the 80 minutes game, come on. World Elite are capable of doing that, but right now they're coming out on top in the kills, and actually going back in the game, they might be looking for a dragon.
Okay, Dragon, this is looking good for World Elite, but StarHorn have gotten all the Dragons up until now. We'll see if they can find something. A little bit of delay there. Dragon now down to half. We're going to see if Insects gets the kick off the Dragon. Not sure what's happening. And horrible time to lag. The stream is not happening. If you spoil this fight, Nero, I will say something not very nice. The Dragon gets smote by Insect. He gets the smite. Sao Mei dies in the back. Lions and Conan now is looking to go down. Corrin finally helping UZI. Actually, no, Corrin gets the kill. He's looking for follow-up kills. Hits the Zanya's Hourglass, but he's going to die to the bouncing bomb when it comes back. No, stays alive, and it's Insect again. Making the hashtag LPL big plays. Dragon kills, and finally, after 30 minutes of farming, StarHorn Royal Club come out with a 5 for none, a perfect ace, and a dragon.
At the very beginning, for me, it looked like the easiest fight of World Leads in a lifetime, but no, just StarHorn coming out on top so hugely. And they will be headed towards the Baron area. Can they really make it though?
Okay,
with the
yeah.
low health bars?
Colas can take this up, but oh no, Zero, don't do it. Zero, think of the oh now Corrin. Holy cow, that was close. StarHorn Royal Club, get the Dragon, get the Baron. Let's take a look at this replay real fast. So Barrow goes in there, and look at Insect. He ward jumps over the wall and kicks Sao Mei away out of the Dragon Pit. And so as Sao Mei tries to get back in here, with his almost dying breath, Insect smites the Dragon, safeguards away, and lets the rest of his team come in for the cleanup. And while Ninja's trying to toss bombs backwards, he can't get away from Corrin. Corrin chunks him down, hits the Zanyas, and the backup arrives just in time. It's Zero turns on his sirens. Ambulance Braum is there to protect your carries, and now Insect came in for the finishing kill on a Ninja. Just like, how is Insect everywhere? I didn't even see him flank around that side of the Dragon Pit and then get the kick onto Sao Mei. And then he did the same thing. He's like, I'm at 2 HP. I barely escaped the fight. Better run all the way around again and get the flank onto Ninja. Like, Insect looking good at StarHorn. Come back explosive.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said that this game is gonna explode at some point in time. And just look at the pink wards in the pockets of the whole StarHorn's lineup. They do create a lot of pressure in the warding, in the vision right now.
So StarHorn, we were talking about how the game was so passive and how that was rewarding World Elite for just playing the farm game and getting their hyper carries a ton of CS. Now things are starting to heat up, and StarHorn Royal Club are looking to force these big objectives. They need to get like a big armor item up on Cola, who's going full AP Gragas. We've seen it work out very well for other Chinese top laners like Godlike in North America. So I'm expecting that Cola is going for something somewhat different, as he is not hard carrying the game at 005. Maybe looking for 2 more assists to get his secret agent status.
Yep, maybe. But I think that he might really be able to pull it off. But still, he is there. He is throwing out the explosive casks. He takes part in the team fights. That is the most important.
And look at UZI. Like, he didn't even need a minion wave. He just walked up, like, autoed the turret down below half. And with this impending minion wave, like, UZI is just going to walk forward and do it again. Now, Conan then will try to counter-engage, but he won't be able to because of Braum flanking around from behind. And Wei Zhao gets a couple of auto attacks off onto UZI. Maybe only one there. Now Zero's going to come forward, tank the turret, and let UZI finish it off. Or will he? Still a little bit of an awkward poke around the back behind for StarHorn.
Yeah, they will be just staying around this turret for quite a long time right now. They really want to bring it down, but World Elite really don't want to give it away. Though StarHorn do have the Baron buff, so they will most probably be the better ones right here if the fight happens.
Turned out the game sounds just a little bit, in case those were a little bit less evident. So top turret's going down no matter how you look at it, and instead of going for the big team fight, StarHorn are going to try for the split push. I don't think that's a very good idea because Fizz does not push turrets very effectively against an entire team. So they'll switch UZI back up there and try to go at it again. But they're pushing versus the Fizz, and Ninja is not making this game very fun. So I think the best way to go about this is to just have Zero tank the turret and UZI DPS it from the back. Honestly, it only needs a couple more auto attacks, and yeah, that's going to go in there. Just tanking up the turret. Defense on Insec, and the 5th turret of the game goes down for StarHorn.
Alright, so 6-2. 5-3 in the turrets. It's looking quite well for StarHorn. Still, they want to fight, but still, once again, the game slows down and once again becomes this game of objectives, of turrets, of farming, and not many fights. And especially with this Fizz, with the Ziggs, with the all-in carry Tristana, how are the fights just not happening?
The scary thing is that if World Elite win literally one team fight, the game is almost just theirs because of how strong Sao Mei and Wei Zhao are going to be. Now, we talked about how Wei Zhao is starting to get that hyper carry on, but he's at 2 items, and then you look across to UZI. Not only does UZI have 3.5 aggressive items completed, but he's 202 with 112 more CS than Wei Zhao. Like this is Wei Zhao we're talking about. This guy gets monster farm, but UZI is making him look like, I don't know, maybe at that jungle CS level. Of course, not quite. He's at 241, but UZI is on the ball here. Already you can see StarHorn switched up to the 4 trinkets, 4 sweeping lenses rather. So they're looking to go in aggressive, clear out a ton of wards, and make that jungle theirs.
And they do have more than a 10k gold lead at the moment. So yeah, World Elite, they might come back into this game if they win the fight, but sitting in such a disadvantage, it will be hard to win a team fight. Yeah, still StarHorn most probably looking for a dragon right there. So they'll be getting everything that they can. But once again, it's just the objectives.
And this is a stark contrast from the last time these two teams faced off, where World Elite, even though they split 1-1 in their series, had complete dragon control. And I think I might have mentioned that before, but with every single one of the dragons going StarHorn's way, like, I mean, we were questioning what Korn was doing, and I'm just like, all right, what is World Elite doing other than just trying to play this passive farm game? The scary thing for this is, even though StarHorn are like ahead in every area, they're smashing lanes, they're great rotations, dragons, barons, turrets, it's all going their way. The longer the game draws on, and it will draw on thanks to Ninja's Ziggs, the better and better World Elite gets. So you can't forget that. Like, you can talk about the flashy plays for StarHorn, but World Elite has got this late game.
Yeah, but still there is this Tristana, so the resets are there, and yeah, StarHorn can also get one good fight and win the game. So it's all about this one good fight happening around the 40 or maybe even 50 minutes mark, because this game, as you said, will draw on longer. The Baron is spawning in just a second though. Something may happen around it.
Something. You think? I think Baron is a good way to end this game. Yeah, I never thought I'd say that I just wanted one Baron fight to end a game, but honestly, this World Elite strategy of just like do as little as humanly possible and keep farming, it's like keep calm and keep farming. The World Elite strategy. StarHorn are just like, we're gonna make cool rotations, we're gonna get picks on champions, we're gonna win team fights, take dragons that kill turrets, and World Elite are just like, yeah, we're gonna farm. And that's actually the best strategy that they can employ right now, is just carry it out, forego their early... Oh, wow, that's actually Conan over the wall. He gets the stun onto Insect. Cocoon misses there as Axine is not able to find absolutely everything. But now Axine actually might be the one getting caught out there. He's going to be repelling up in the air, but is that going to be enough? Salmei is going to get into the back line. Axine will go down there in the back, and now it's Salmei, not where he wants to be in the middle of a 1v3. Still an incredibly strong UZI with damage. Kick back in from Ninja, hits the Insta-Zanyas. See if he can make it out alive when he comes back out. Tries to flash and fails it. We'll get the bounce over the wall. And UZI has got the damage. He's getting that all over. World Elite at an incredible performance. Nobody can touch the Tristana. He's gonna get some help here from Zero, but somebody's gotta save him from this Baron Nashor. Insect over the wall, probably gonna look for it. He gets it onto Ninja. The safeguard in there onto the ward. There's nowhere to go. Ninja gets the 1v1. Holy moly, what are we looking at here? Cola can't find the damage in Ninja. Bursts down Insect. Insect's gonna be thinking twice about that. Holy cow.
Right, so UZI, he got a quad kill in this fight. That was a pretty impressive one. No one could touch him, as you said, but later on someone got finally on his face and dealt a little bit of damage, but still they are coming back to the roots of StarHorn. They are just going over aggressive over and over again. UZI gets taken down by Ninja, then goes Insect too. And they were even trying to go for this Baron with such low health bars. That just makes no sense. They could have just came back to base.
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna compose myself a second. Baron now probably going to go the way of World Elite. There's still a teleport up from Cola, so he can go into the back lines if he wants to. But look at Wei Zhao, he's just DPSing over the wall there. And Baron Buff's gonna go to World Elite off of a... Help me out here, Nero. What's going on, and why are World Elite... oh, wait, what? No! Insect stole... Wait, what? Okay, we're gonna get a replay of this. Watch the team fight, and then we'll go back to the Baron. This is a little bit questionable. Okay, so StarHorn's running away, and they try for the big engage here. And now World Elite are going to try to kite backwards, and they actually do a very good job of this. Salmei flashes away from the team to keep the fish from hitting. And now with Salmei back in the back line is not where he wants to go. Big Mega Inferno Bomb and Bouncing Bomb to take out Korn. And now it's all Ninja. Ninja's got the damage. Ninja's in charge, but look at what Insect does. He kicks him into the middle of the team right on top of UZI. Now UZI at this point is pretty dead, but he's got a huge body blocking front line. Ninja fails his flash, forced to jump, and now he's out of the fight. No one can touch UZI. Conan's gonna fall down here, and now Ninja's just like, alright, I can kill them all, right? Answer is, of course, no. And now watch this. Insect gets the kill on, or gets the 1v1 versus Ninja, and stutters a few auto attacks. Now, it's actually World Elite with the Baron buff. I thought it was Insect with the Baron buff. I'm not sure if that was just like a graphical glitch, or if I just missaw something, but... apologies for miscalling that. We do get the Baron buff, and now they are actually the ones, not necessarily in the driver's seat, but they got Baron that's got to count for something.
Yeah, that's a huge confidential boost right there. Ninja just going in a 1v4, getting 2 kills, no problem, and stopping the Baron from happening for StarHorn World Cup, completely baiting out the enemies. That was just too easy. I still cannot understand why Insect tried to do this, and even Cola, he could have gone down, but he just decided to preserve his 008 numbers right there. And yeah, StarHorn, as you said, they still are in the driver's seat, but, well, World Elite, they may come back into this game quite easily, especially with a Jax and a Kog'Maw.
Okay, so I feel a little bit less bad thanks to that little buff glitch. But as StarHorn press up the mid lane, they're pushing into a team with Baron, which is a little bit more risky even though they are still far ahead. So looking at StarHorn, they have the Tristana, the huge range all the time. You don't need something like Bio-Arcane Barrage to make it happen. But look at Salmei, he's off on that split push, and he's going to be pressuring base turrets.
Alright, so yep, as you said, this Jax is quite a strong one right now. Getting a little bit for World Elite, so they're coming back in the golds. little bit by a little bit. Just first taking this Baron, then taking the fight, then we're getting some turrets. And that's a good way to go, but still we do have the 11k gold lead in favor of StarHorn. But it's not really showing. I still didn't see any power coming out from Korn. And on the other hand, Ninja, he has shown such a great performance, sitting on 5-1-0 right now.
StarHorn just tried to get a 5-man rotation top lane to try to deal with Salme, and he was able to make it out alive. So split push successful, draws the team back off, but at the same time, World Elite aren't really accomplishing too much with this Baron. At this point, they're more just like, hey, we have a buff that gives us the ability to farm even more. Which is honestly pretty much the only thing they've been doing. You see the 10-5 score and you're just like, wow, that must be spread over the entire team. But no, it's literally only Ninja, 5-1-0, the only person on his team to pick up kills this game.
And he might be this huge Ziggs carrying the game, as you said a little while earlier. But we might see the Dragon fight and not the Baron fight coming in just a second. Which is a weird thing so late in the game.
Ninja gets some criticism, at least for his somewhat odd champion pool and sometimes his performance, but he's actually been looking very, very good. His Twisted Fate, most importantly, in recent games have been pretty impressive. His Ziggs is no joke this game, but StarHorn, they've got a ton of pressure here now. Cola's in the back of this Dragon Pit, and we've got UZI trying to DPS it, but World Elite are not going to give this up without a fight. Banshee's Veils get popping, and now Insect's trying to take this one down. The smite goes down, and it's a steal from Axine. He gets the Dragon over the wall. No steal there for Insect. He's had his fair share of those, but gets one back, right back at him. Axine with the steal.
Well, I can't actually decide who would steal the Dragon if they got it, because both of the teams actually dealt the equal amount of damage to this objective, and they were just fighting over it. And StarHorn line up on the bottom half of this Dragon Pit, and World Elite on the top half of this Dragon Pit. In the end, World Elite do get it, but still, they can't really come back in gold, but they do want to come back in the fights, and they have shown it so many times already.
The pushing intensifies. StarHorn looking to at least put some damage down onto this middle turret. But I feel like the only way that StarHorn are going to be able to push is sending Zero into tank or Cola into tank, and then UZI DPSing from the back. And that actually sets up a pretty good engage situation for World Elite, as the carries will be at least trying to put more, or be closer to the turret, so it's easier to engage. But Conan's ults this game have not been looking too good. He's missed 2 of them already, and may not sound like a big number, but the teams haven't really been fighting, so he hasn't had too many opportunities. Why is Zero all the way up there? Like, he doesn't have any backup. He's just aggressively positioning, trying to just start something so StarHorn can fight.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure if StarHorn, if they start a fight, can they really win? That's the big question. They do have this big Tristan, and just look at the farm count right now. Much more than a Cogman, but still, UZI did get a quad kill in the previous fight. Didn't do too much because World Elite, they did get the Baron off of this one.
It didn't do too much because Ninja exists in the game. And his Ziggs, because he's so far ahead, he can kill any wave. He can kill any 2 waves of minions at a time. He's got enough CDR right now with the Brilliance Elixir that's kind of on its way. I think, yeah, he actually has it enabled right now. So he's got Brilliance Elixir and the probably CDR from Masteries, and he's also got the Athene's and Holy Grail. So he's going to be able to ult side lanes to clear those out if they want to split push. Ult the lane he's in with... or not ult the lane he's in, but just spam things out, and pushing against a Fed Ziggs. StarHorn have yet to figure out how to make that one happen.
Well, the Baron will be coming back in just a second, and big fight might happen right there, and this might decide our game, actually.
Teleports coming in from behind. We've got Axine over the wall there. It's going to be a smite in from Insects, so that's going to be StarHorn with the kill onto that. But Salme's on UZI in the back. UZI's going to get some peel, but Ninja finally falls there, but it's at the price of he's going down. Wei Zhao's going down. Conan's dead too. Insect gets Cocoon, and now Salme's looking for a kill there, but we got backup coming over the Baron wall. As now we've got every single member of StarHorn. They're all there for the backup, and it's no man left behind. UZI survives off of finally getting some peel his way, and a 5-for-1 exchange. StarHorn crushed the fight.
And Korn finally steps up his play. He gets double kill right there, and StarHorn will be closing out this one. The death timers are just too big. SHRC winning the first game against World Elite, and it was supposed to look so close. World Elite, they had some very good fights, but right now StarHorn will just chunk through the base of the red team and will take this one home.
Yeah, Conan's up, but as the support champion, is probably not going to have too much to offer. The jump in from UZI, ult him back out, he gets the fish, and StarHorn are kind of trolling things out here. Conan trying to go back alive, but he gets taken down. The Nexus explodes. It's StarHorn Royal Club takes game 1 versus World Elite.
And well, just to express how this game looked like, it was UZI farming, Core farming. On the other hand, we had Ninja farming and Weishao farming. 30 minutes of nothing, and then the game exploding like that. And well, World Elite, they had a nice shot at taking this game, at taking the first point actually this week. Right now they are sitting at 0-5. That is just incredible. StarHorn with such a huge lead. And well, what that leaves for World Elite for the next game. Can they really make it happen? Can they pull it off?
UZI came up monstrous there. You got a quadra kill in one of those fights, stayed alive, especially in that last fight. Like, Salme was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. He jumped on UZI and kept him out of that fight for as long as humanly possible, as much as a bruiser can do to a very fed Tristana. But honestly, last fight, and then even with like a couple of fail flashes in previous fights, it was actually Ziggs. Ninja was carrying his team. He had a lot riding on his shoulders, and he went down. Last fight, Wei Zhao died pretty much at the same time to the front line, and that's all she wrote. Game 1 goes to StarHorn Royal Club, and now we're going to have to take a little bit of a break, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it's the last game of the night, as StarHorn look to close it out 2-0 and take World Elite's 3rd place spot away from them. World Elite, they're just trying to hang on and split this 1-1. So stick around, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short intermission with the final game of the night, StarHorn versus World Elite.
其实小鱼人之前都还没有做出什么，但最后这一波这是立功。这场黄图能不能赢，完全要看后期小鱼人的发挥。鱼人如果能够成功的对敌人的后排进行伤害，那这盘这里的话还想打一个4v2，基本上是很难打了。不可能。小鱼人加小炮的这个爆炸伤害，瞬间切死2个人就一波了。而且蜘蛛加上那个贾克斯也没有什么特别爆炸的伤害，就你想，就感觉他们这个阵容的话，最后一波双 C 位被秒，这个还是比较关键的。太伤了，因为他们这个团战感觉贾克斯这个装备更多的是逼后排的作用，其实他真的要打出爆炸伤害，他是残局才有。你注意刚才那个inside那一脚。 也是送了一个 carry 过去，顺便给小鱼人踩，这脚也是蛮精髓。所以说最后一波真的是就胜负就在这一波团战。对，没错。不过总的来说的话，刚才这场比赛 WE 还是算是贯穿了自己的一个整个战术的主旨，只不过最后一波团战失误，我觉得没有太严重的失误，只不过是后面皇族的发挥有点超乎我的想象。对，就后面的话，突然玉米突然就说我能 carry， 就大招一声我能 carry。这个玉米前40分钟，他所有大招都是丢给前排，没有什么作用。对，他的 E 技能。
Struggling a lot to win any single game right here. We have IG sitting at the bottom half of the standings, and we have Young Glory actually starting to rise and winning all the games that they get to play. So this is definitely an interesting thing in the standings, and we also still have a few weeks to be played in here in the LPL, so things might change a lot before the end of the season. But definitely World Elite, they need to step up their game, and they definitely need to play well today. They need to win at least one game against StarHorn Royal Club if they don't want to fall really far behind.
There you can see him on your screen. That's Axine, the other Korean player there added to World Elite. He and Ninja have not been posting up some big numbers, and there is on your screen the most famous man in China, Salme. You can see that Fizz game on your screens. Did not work out. Gragas didn't work out. Kale, same story there, and World Elite across the board are just looking for a win. Anything that they can get to come back in this tournament. They're falling down. In case you guys want a look at the standings, you can check out coming into tonight's games. World Elite are at 12 points if they had won all their games, they'd be in first place, 2 points ahead of OMG. But right now, they're just looking to hang on, as if StarHorn Royal Club come up to a 2-0 tonight, they'll actually overtake World Elite and take away their third place spot and kind of swap places in the standings. So let's go ahead and I guess hop into what should be Champion Select coming here in just a minute. Still waiting for the players to finish up their preparations in lobby. But what are your thoughts on this game tonight? What are the strengths and weaknesses that we're looking for from both teams, Nero?
Just coming back to waiting for the picks and bans, at least there's no clear love in this game. Not playing in World Elite anymore.
That's true. No more delays for the games.
Yeah, and there we go. The Champion Select will be popping up right now. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the Rengar ban or no ban, because that is a really important champion for Sin, both Sin and Insec, right here. And also a Lee Sin will be contested, so the junglers, the battle of the junglers, they are really Jax, of course. It is also a nice and a comfortable pick for him. And yeah, everyone just said that Xiaomei is having his best split of his life, and actually World Elite now falling into a slump is a sad thing to see.
Now, Ninja's going to grab a Ziggs, which is okay for him, but not necessarily his kind of par for the course. He's much more comfortable on, like, assassin players rather than kind of just the Rice lane where you go to try to farm things out. And oh my gosh, there's a lock-in on Fizz!
Once again.
Okay, well, this time it's not Xiaomei's top lane Fizz, which honestly had its own fair share of issues. But that's going to be for Korn in the mid lane, and a top lane Gragas switched around there. Oh no. They're going to put that Gragas top, aren't they? StarHorn
they should.
Are still rotating things. Could be a top lane Fizz. Maybe Cola's like stolen Xiaomei's like playbook, and he's like, oh, top lane Fizz really is OP. But something tells me that's not quite the case.
Yeah, we'll get to see what that is in the end. But UZI going for this Tristana pick. Well, LMQ was formerly a sister team to StarHorn, to previously Royal Club. So yeah, this UZI definitely knows Vasily in person, and Vasily is playing a lot of this Tristana lately. Right now, UZI will go for it in the LPL and show World Elite how to play this champion. But yeah, facing off a Kog'Maw, that might be quite hard. But in the late game, both champions are really strong.
Alright, so they did switch the Ziggs up. No big surprises there. My heart's rested a little bit easier. If nobody ever plays top lane Fizz again, it'll be too soon. If you guys missed Xiaomei's Fizz performance, go check out Wii's first series of the... our second series of the week. It was somewhat lackluster, let's put it that way. But right now, the Kog'Maw Leona lane is always a little bit rough, because, you know, Leona's all about going in, engaging, and Kog'Maw's like, hey, I'm going to hang out back here and poke things out. So the World Elite comp is all about big, hard engage in the front, and then a very long-ranged hide down. The last best of two, and taking you into our final best of two of the evening. You just see MVPs out there on your screen right now, and honestly, a little bit of a surprise for me. They gave the MVP to Genlong. Do you agree with that, Nero? What do you think about that?
Well, I still think that there were better performances in the lineup of Young Glory than Genlong, especially when in this one game. In the previous one, maybe okay, Genlong didn't die even once, but this time around he had some positioning issues that we have to point out.
And if you see it on your screen right now, the caster predictions for our second best of two of the night are all over the board. We've got a 2-0 for StarHorn, 2-0 for World Elite, and it's not complete without a good old 1-1. So interesting to see them so spread out, because at least from my perspective coming into this, at least for getting World Elite sort of a slump going 0-4 this week, I would expect World Elite to actually do much better against StarHorn Royal Club. But with World Elite slumping and having it been a while since I've seen StarHorn Royal Club play, I gotta say, might be going with that 1-1 this time.
Yeah, I might be going with a 1-1-2, but I'm going for it pretty much every single time. But yeah, talking about StarHorn, they actually pioneered bringing the Korean players into the Chinese scene, and they didn't really do it too well.
That's right.
I mean, of course, it's Insec. He's a star player, but pretty much I have the feeling that StarHorn is just focusing around the star players and not on winning the games or having a nice performance overall. Like, They had Uzi placed in the middle lane just because he was a good player and they built a team around him. Right now it's all around Uzi and Insec, and they are still looking for the star players and it's not really working out. On the other hand, you have World Elite. In the first days, the Korean players didn't really work too well, but it was just the first day. They just arrived in China. The next week, they started owning completely out of nowhere, so World Elite definitely coming in as big favorites.
Right, but StarHorn Royal Club have done what none of the top 3 teams in LPL have been able to do, and that is go 2-0 versus Young Glory, which was their last series.
Good players, but we'll get to see what champion picks they will get to pick. And the matchup in the middle lane, Korn versus Ninja, of course, that will definitely also be interesting. I would love to see the Ninja TF, because lately when he's been playing it, he was doing quite well.
All right, and there you can see it on your screen. Apologies, had a little bit of a brief issue, but for the bans coming out today, the Lee Sin is going to be a big one. Lee Sin and Rengar are basically everything that Insect plays, and though they will get the first pick here, it is going to be a little bit of a... I mean, the junglers are okay. They're not going to really define this game. Insect, when he does well, he does very, very well, but when he does bad, he does horrid. I feel like that's a nursery rhyme that I've heard before, but either way... the junglers are going to be, I guess, less focused on, but they will impact the lanes. And honestly, like we said before, it's going to be about the duo lanes, UZI and Zero versus Wei Zhao and Conan.
Yeah, there's the Thresh ban. I also expected it to come out, but I rather thought that both teams will try to contest this champion, that one of them will grab it. They do decide to go for a ban here, though. And, well, Lee Sin is still open.
Oh, and though Cola grabs... the support pick for Zero in a Braum, I feel like the Kog'Maw was a much bigger champion to contest. Plus, Salme gets his Jax. Like, I don't... How you can give Jax Kog'Maw to a team as good as World Elite is a big struggle. So now it's up to Insec. What does he play? Lee Sin is still up. So you gotta grab the Lee Sin for Insec. Or Lee Sinsec, but...
Why not a Mumu or Shaco?
Because they're terrible champions, Nero. And there's the Lee Sin locked in with Gragas for top lane. So even though Jax is good and Salme is an incredible Jax player, the big man in the top lane, Gragas, is kind of the king of LPL up there.
Ninja once again going for this Ziggs, and once again with a Ghost instead of a heal or a barrier or whatever else. Just going for the move speed for the safe play. And yeah, as you said, the Gragas in the top lane. Salme likes playing this champion, but he didn't get it.
Is that they won, so they picked up a 2-0 against Young Glory, and nobody batted an eyelash. So it's like, oh, a team beat the worst team in LPL. Big surprise. But, hey, Young Glory have been bringing it back. So StarHorn Royal Club will have at least that going for them. You see the lineups right there. Cola, Insec, and Korn now in the mid lane as we hop down to what is probably going to be the place I'm going to be looking all game long tonight. And that is the Battle of the Bottom Lanes. You can see him on your screen right now. That is UZI. And it is going to be UZI matching up against Wei Zhao down there in the bottom lane. I am excited to watch at least that matchup because it's probably going to define this game.
And this game is going to be definitely interesting. Both supports are strong, but they have different playstyles. Conan likes to roam around, and he has won several games for World League just doing that, just ganking all the lanes with a Leona support or picks like that. But on the other hand, Zero will definitely be aggressive in the lane alongside with Uzi. So World League might look to punish that, but Conan might be punished if he's not roaming around.
Now, a big strategy in LPL, at least for a very long time, has been a very teamfight-centric focus. And StarHorn Royal Club actually kind of struggle with that. Now, World Elite, you can see them on your screen right now. They're with a 60% win rate. 2 weeks ago, that win rate was up to 75%, and it's been coming down, so you can really see the downwards kind of spiral that these guys are in. They're 0-4 on the week, and arguably coming into today, they should be in contention for first place, but they just aren't there. And honestly, if we don't pick up at least one win tonight, they're going to be heading down to third, maybe fourth place before they hit the end of the season. And how the mighty have fallen. It's going to be a rough set of games. See him on your screen right there, Wei Zhao. We were talking about how he's going to match up against UZI here. And honestly, their AD carry choices may vary just a little bit, but still something I'm very interested to watch out, just because it is they are the hard carries for their teams.
Yeah, so talking about teams rising and falling, we have World Lead